Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking Dragon Quest Stars, specifically if you should play the game or not. I've been playing this game since it came out in North America every single day, and I've got a lot of opinions on it, and it's definitely a very fun game, but I'm going to break it down, all the systems, the story, the gacha elements, and we'll talk about whether or not I would recommend this game for you to add to your mobile arsenal. So if you haven't heard of it, Dragon Quest of the Stars is a mobile game that came out earlier in 2020. This game includes a story mode, weekly events, multiplayer system, mini games with a little casino mode, and it's all packed with your favorite Dragon Quest characters, music, equipment, spells, abilities, the whole gambit. So if you're a Dragon Quest fan, then this game immediately has a lot of appeal to you. So in this video, we're going to talk about each of these features. I'm going to talk about the gacha system, and at the end I'll recommend whether or not you should be playing this game. And just keep in mind that this is my own personal opinion of the game after playing it every day for a couple of months. But if you have any opinions on this yourself, then by all means drop them in the comments below and share with everybody else what you think of the game and whether or not you should think they should play it. The story in Dragon Quest of the Stars is very silly. It definitely doesn't take itself too seriously, but you might expect that from the Dragon Quest series, as they have shown that they have a very good sense of humor. The localization in this game is very good. I found the translations all made sense and the text was very well written. I really enjoyed it. I even cracked up at some of the lines in the game. So in this game you're given 3 characters to fully customize and name, and I mean like the full appearances, genders, the whole thing, as well as gear can all be customized so that you can look the way that you want to look with attachments and everything. So the 3 characters that you have are the Questocrat's grandchildren. So the Questocrat is a legendary adventurer. He toured the world, saved it from destruction, and then now there's a new threat that you were fighting, but you've lost your memories. So you are journeying with your friend Cyril and your grandfather Gaius, who's the Questocrat, and you have to find out what the new threat is and get back all of your memories. So the story mode consists basically of traveling around the world and then entering dungeons. Each dungeon has a bunch of floors with a bunch of waves of enemies and a boss and etc. So generally the beginning and every end of a dungeon has dialogue, and as do all the rest stops in the villages, the towns along the way. So there's lots of talking, lots of reading if that's what you're into. There's no voice acting, however. This is one of those games where the main character does not talk, so Cyril's going to do most of the talking for you. So I personally really enjoyed the story mode. It doesn't try too hard to be serious, as I said, and I was often smiling at the dialogue, but it was a lot to keep up with playing multiple games, and part of that is due to the auto feature in this game. The auto battle is locked behind a monthly pay plan, so you can't actually have a very reliable auto battle without paying, and that makes it harder to kind of crush through story and farm and etc. One of my absolute favorite parts of Dragon Quest of the Stars is the combat. It's a super fun system. Basically you bring 3 characters into battle with you and then bring a 4th character as a helper, and this is a unit that can belong to a friend or just someone random. You can borrow them. So as the battle goes on, your units are going to auto attack, and your skills CT or charge time is going to increase. When they fill up, you can use your skills to deal damage, heal, support, whatever you want to do. And if you finish the final enemy of a wave off with a skill, it's going to give you a special finish, which is going to then charge up your CT for the next wave, which is kind of a cool little incentive to be active and trying to finish off enemies with your skills. So it sounds kind of simple, but the combat is actually very deep. Your character's loadout is incredibly important. There's a lot of levels to which you can customize each unit, and all your characters start off as novice adventurers, but you're going to have access to a whole bunch of basic vocations or jobs, and then advanced vocations or jobs that are unlocked through the All Trades Temple, and by leveling up your basic vocations, then you can make the higher level advanced vocations. And and these vocations are going to have their own specialties. They're going to deal damage, they're going to heal, they're going to protect, they're going to support your units. So there's a lot of customization going on, and that's all through leveling. And leveling's free to do. You don't need, there's no experience cubes or anything. There are metal slime dungeons you can run to accelerate your leveling, but a big part of powering up your party is by putting the correct vocations together and figuring out what works for you, which is certainly free to play friendly compared to somewhere where you need special items to upgrade your units. Besides vocations, equipment is also going to play a huge role in Dragon Quest of the Stars. So each equipment has a bunch of skill slots that can range from E to A, and each of those skill slots is further designated as an attack skill, support skill, attack spell, or a support spell. So there's a lot of different customization depending on the weapon that you equip, because it can have all sorts of different slots of different levels of abilities. So you can bring in a weapon that is very good for supporting in a certain battle, for healing if you need extra healing, but you can also bring in a weapon that is going to be able to do a lot of damage and have a lot of damaging skills. So the events in Dragon Quest, all of these pieces of your loadout are important because the events in Dragon Quest of the Stars feature final bosses with many different difficulty levels, and you have to plan accordingly when going into these bosses. It's a really good system because it gives all different types of players something to shoot for. For example, the highest level difficulty is the Fiend class, and you have to be playing quite a bit to beat those, whereas I would probably just beat the level below that myself. These bosses require you to come on with specific vocations, with specific equipment, resistances, items, the whole gambit. So there's a lot of customization, a lot of planning and strategy that makes this game very deep. So overall, the gameplay in this game is really fun. It's I don't find it to be too repetitive. The customization in the battles are really awesome, and during battle, timing is super important. You can't just spam all of your skills because that's actually going to lead you to a wipe, and this becomes even more important when you are playing multiplayer with other people. Communication is key. The only issue that I found with Dragon Quest's combat is the the auto battle system that is just, you can't get it if you're free to play. So you have to sign up to a monthly subscription in order to get auto battle, and even then that's not going to, it's going to use your skills, but it won't help you get any sort of achievements or anything. So without this system, you have to just watch all the battles manually to use your skills and make things progress faster, because otherwise you're just auto attacking, and at a certain point that's not going to be good enough anymore. So this could actually be looked at as a positive thing because it makes you engage with the game. It means that you can't idle this game, and some people have complained about games that are just the auto system is too much and they want to be playing the game, and there's certainly a positive side to be looked at there, but at the same time this does not benefit people that have less time on their hands. They don't have time to be playing through the story, and the auto battle is sorely missed there. Next, we're going to talk about the gacha system in Dragon Quest of the Stars, and whether or not it is a free-to-play friendly game. So because you have 3 generic units in this game, the gacha element is all about the equipment. Each banner is going to have some featured 5-star pieces, as well as a bunch of usual 5-star pieces that appear, and then a bunch of other gear that's just fodder. This featured gear is generally a lot better than the rest. However, all equipment can be useful in Dragon Quest because it carries skills, and those skills can be taken out of the pieces of equipment. So all gear can be leveled up and evolves, although evolving is hard to do because you need a dupe or an item that you can kind of buy once a month, but you have to be trading in a bunch of gear to get the points to buy that item, so you need to be pulling enough to do that. There's also a new alchemy system in the game that allows you to transform weapons and gear into new pieces they're gonna have better stats, but they're also gonna have new skills. So this is important because in order to min-max in Dragon Quest, you will need the best gear for your chosen vocation, but you're also going to need the best skills. So you can do this by pulling gear and then dismantling it, taking the skills out of the gear and putting them into your favorite pieces. This allows you to create the ultimate weapon filled with skills from all other weapons, but this is not necessary in my experience because you can beat the majority of the content in this game without doing that. However, it is a really cool system because it allows you to create custom weapons that are just yours, that have the skills that you wanted to put on there, and you can cover for the weaknesses of certain classes by giving them certain skills. So I think for like the Fiend class bosses that I never did, that might be necessary, but for what I was doing in this game, I never had to worry with that type of thing. So in my opinion, this game is definitely free to play friendly. It is very generous with the summoning currency, which is called gems, and you're constantly given treasure maps that with objectives, kind of like bingo boards, that give you more gems and more items. The story mode and events and all these other things are going to give you gems for beating bosses, for completing objectives, etc. And that means that you're going to be able to reliably save up for the banner that interests you and pull on it. As a free-to-play player, you're not going to be able to pull on every single banner, but you will be able to pull quite a bit, which is very nice. Banners also often have a free chest of the day, which is just one free pull. And pulling is one of the most fun parts about mobile games, so being able to do it once per day is really, really chill. And you can also wait till the end of a banner because you might just think, well, if I pull once a day, maybe I'll get the piece that I want, and then I don't have to spend any gems. So you can always do it that way as well. So it's definitely a good system, and I think that this is a free-to-play friendly game. Now, if you watch my Dragon Quest of the Stars videos, you're going to know that I had fairly good luck with my pulls, so maybe this did skew my opinion a little bit. If you do want to spend money on Dragon Quest of the Stars, there are options for you. The monthly subscription plan does offer quite a bit. It gives you the auto battle system as well as some free pulls every month and free 5-star gear. If you just want to buy gems, however, as far as I saw, the prices weren't very good at all, but there are some welcome bundles, I think, that come with some gear and some other stuff, so that's also an option for you. Keep in mind with the monthly subscription package, you have to stay subbed long enough for it to take effect, so you can't do like the free trial and then get the gear for it. You have to actually sub and stay subbed a certain amount of time, and I'm not an expert on that since I did not do it. Okay, so in conclusion, this has been my review for Dragon Quest of the Stars. I think that it is a very fun game. However, as I started playing 3 mobile games at the same time, Dragon Quest just seemed to be the one that I wanted to play the least, and I can't really explain why, but I'm now at the point where I'm not playing every day. I am just checking in and running some dungeons, and I think I'm going to return for specific events because I do really love the story events. I do really love Dragon Quest in general, but for whatever reason, I just don't seem to be drawn to the game right now. But there are certainly a lot of pros to it, including it being free-to-play friendly, the class system is super deep, the equipment and skill customization is very fun, and the story is super entertaining. The cons would be, I guess the no auto battle is for me, it's a con, it might not be for you. The game felt very similar after a while. The events and the stories were they weren't that different from each other. They were enjoyable, but I felt like it could have been a little more diverse. And then there's kind of a low population in this game too, so multiplayer sometimes can be a struggle, especially if you want to host. You have to work your way up from the bottom of an event. You can't just host any level. You have to host them in order and unlock them, and no one's going to join your low level multiplayer, so it kind of locks hosts out from being able to host stuff in multiplayer. So that's kind of, in my opinion, that needs to be sorted out. And there's a bunch of other stuff in this game that I might not have covered, and if I did miss it, then please do talk about that in the comments and share that kind of stuff. But all in all, I think that if you're looking for a good side game to fill some time, then Dragon Quest of the Stars might be the game for you, but otherwise I don't think that it is a long-term main gacha game that you would want to play. That's going to be it for this video, and I hope that it was helpful for you. I would appreciate it if you would consider subbing to the channel and liking the video, as that shows me that you have interest in this type of thing. I can do more gacha reviews and just more videos in general. So until next time, we'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can show your support with a like and subscribe, and by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/MassidiaGaming. Until next time, keep it real, Massidians.